I've just built this lead gen AI system to replace Clay. Similar to Clay's spreadsheet-like UI and enrichment capabilities, I've rebuilt a simplified version on n8n with Google Spreadsheet, and I'm going to share this template for free. This system streamlines the lead generation process, automating tasks from prospecting to email enrichment, making it easier to scale your outreach efficiently. The reason I wanted to create this is because Clay is quite expensive, so I thought we can make something similar for less money. This system uses Sales Navigator, Apify, Perplexity, Prospeo, Skrapp, and you can try setting all this up using the free plans or free trial for each solution first before you pay for any services. And I'm sharing this method with you step by step. With our AI agent system, all you need to do is set things up just once. After that, the AI takes care of the entire outreach process, from identifying needs to sending customized emails. Everything runs on autopilot. If you are interested in automating your email outreach like this, keep watching as I'm breaking down this AI agent system in details. Here is the best part. You do not need any coding skills to set this up. We've used n8n for everything. Just drag and drop. Right now, AI Agent is a game changer. If you are not learning about this yet, it's time to start now. Alright, so let's dive into the overview of how this automated outreach system works. We start by using Sales Navigator with Apify to search for CEOs in marketing agencies based in New York with a company size of 11 to 50 employees. Then we use Perplexity to get company descriptions and URLs. And we will use Prospeo and Skrapp to work as an email enrichment waterfall to find emails. And finally, we are going to draft and send customized emails with our AI agent. So with this automated AI lead gen system, you can take your outreach efforts to the next level without spending hours on manual research and emailing. So let's jump into the details of our n8n workflow. Before diving into the n8n workflow, let's talk about the credential setup first. So we can go to credentials, and then we can click this drop down button and create credential. First of all, we're going to set up the Apify credential. I'll share with you what it's about, how we're going to use it. But let's set up the credentials first. We are going to search for credential auth, this one. And then what we're going to do is input token. For the value, we're going to get the API key from console.apify.com settings, API integrations, create a new token, and then copy. Then we'll just paste it here. And we'll click this pen icon to rename it to Apify. And you can save it on your site. Okay, so we are going to set for the Google Sheets and Gmail. It's very easy. We can click this drop down button, create credential, Google Sheets, auth to API, continue. And then you can sign in with your Google account. And it's the same for a Gmail account. Search for Gmail, OAuth to API, and then sign in with Google account. Great, it's set. Then we're going to set up the Perplexity credentials. And again, I will share with you what we are going to use Perplexity for later. But let's set up the credentials first. We're going to use header auth. Again, remember you need to change the name for your credentials. We can click create credential, search for header auth, continue, and we can copy this authorization. Okay, remember there's no space. And for value, we need to pay attention. We need to input bearer space first, so we can paste it here first. Then we can go to Perplexity settings/API. When you have set up the payment, when you have connect a credit card, you can start using the API. You will get the API key, and then you can just paste it here. And then you can rename the header auth account into Perplexity. And then you can save it on your side. Next, we are going to set up the Prospeo Skrapp. And I'm going to explain further how we're going to use both of them for the email enrichment waterfall. Okay, so again, we are going to set header auth, create credentials, search for header auth. And this time we are going to input the X key as the name, and we'll go to the website and then account API, and then copy this key and paste it here and rename it to Prospeo. Okay, and save it on your site. The next one, Skrapp, we are going to search for header auth again, and we are going to copy this x-ss key. The value, the API key, will go to skrapp.io/API. When we scroll down a little bit, then you can click refill API key, and then we can copy that and paste it here. Okay, and rename it into Skrapp. Okay, save it on your side as well. We have the credential setup ready now, so we are going to the next step. Alright, so let's try to import the free template now. First of all, let's create your workflow. We can click this icon, workflow, and create in your own project. And then after that, you can click this 3 dots icon, import from file, choose this template. Okay, then we can have this. You can see there are 4 steps. Step 1 is to search for target company with Apify and Sales Navigator. Step 2, we're going to get the company background and website with Perplexity. Step 3, we're going to email enrichment Waterfall with Prospeo and Skrapp. And step 4 is to send customized email with email agent. So what we are going to do, first of all, we are going to have this schedule trigger. You can search from here, schedule trigger. The purpose for this is to run this every single day. You can use day as an interval, seconds, minutes, hours, etc. So for this, we are going to run each once per midnight at the midnight hour. And then we can click this test step. So for next note, we are going to add, this is called edit fields. You can click this pen icon to rename it, and we will have menu mapping for this one. So first of all, what we are going to set, what fields, there are a couple of them. Cookies is an array, search URL, string, deep Skrapp, boolean, max delay, number, min delay, number, proxy. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to explain these part by part. For cookies, we are going to search Sales Navigator. This is the page, and we are going to download this cookie editor from Chrome extension. After that, you can click this puzzle icon. When you hover over this, you can see extensions, and then we can click cookie editor. This site, allow, and click it again. Export JSON, and then you can just enlarge this and paste it here. Okay. So I've also listed out the steps here. Then the search URL, it means that just copy and paste this Sales Navigator search URL. That's alright. And then what we are going to do is to set deep Skrapp as false. What it means, let me show you. When we go to Apify. So by the way, Apify is a platform that provides you a lot of different tools to scrap the web information. And the tool that we are going to use now, we can search for LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And we are going to use the most popular one, this one. So for deep Skrapp, it means when we hover over this, deep Skrapp, it means to visit each profile or company in search result and extract more information. So we set it as false, so we are not going to visit each profile or company. If you set true, it means that it will go to each profile or company to get more search result. In our demo example, we are not doing that. And max delay and min delay, we can take a look at that as well. When we scroll down, we can hover over this. You will see min delay here. It means the minimum duration in seconds to wait before scrapping next page. So this is the max duration. Alright, so these two are the relevant numbers. And last but not least, we are going to have the proxy. What exactly is proxy when we hover over this? So it means we're going to choose residential proxy, data center proxy from the country where you are logged into LinkedIn. Okay. So why are we going to choose residential proxy? Because this type of proxy has the lowest chance of getting blocked and the best geographic coverage. So these are the IP addresses located in people's home and offices. So we are going to use Apify proxy is true, and we're going to use proxy, and we are going to set Apify proxy country as US, and we're going to use residential proxy. Again, you can copy and paste this, and we are going to run this as well. You can click test step. Great. On the right hand side, you can see the output. On the left hand side is input. So it means the schedule triggered this node, and then this node will process settings key, and then we will have the output on the right hand side. So as you can see, the cookie, search URL, Deep Skrapp, and other settings here. So basically, this is the configurations for LinkedIn Scrapper that we are going to use it here. For this node, we are going to search for HTTP request. It's for making an HTTP request and returns the response data. And let's dive into this. We can rename it here. So Apify LinkedIn Sales Navigator Scrapper. And on the left hand side is the input data from the Apify config, which is the previous node. For this node, HTTP request node, we are going to use post method, and we are going to use this URL, this one. First of all, api.apify.com v2, and then this is the little part. And how are we going to find this actually? We can go to API and then open API definition. So this is the first part, and then this is the second part. This is the path. So that's how we get this URL. And we have the credential setup at the beginning, enable send body, JSON as the body content type, specify body with JSON, and then we can just, for example, have the bracket here, and then we choose JSON here. It means that it's referring to everything in the previous node. So as we have already run it once, because we just want to save our credits on Apify, so we have pinned the data. What it means, when we right click this, you can see unpin. What it means is that when we have pinned this data, the data will be locked here. When we run this workflow or test workflow, this node will not be run because we have already got the data here. So we are pinning the data here. So you can see the output, the search result, we got 243 results from the Sales Navigator. We got the 243 results items here. So we have successfully scrapped the LinkedIn Sales Navigator with this Apify tool, or they call Actor. So as you can see, connection type, profile ID, Sales Navigator URL, company industry, company location, company name, job title, location, profile picture URL, first name, last name, open link, pending invitation, premium saved, viewed, profile URL. So these are the fields that we can scrap from this Actor, from this tool. Then for the next step, why are we going to see this red exclamation mark? Because there are some issues. When we hover over this, you can see the credentials for Google Sheets are not set. So how are we going to do this? First of all, where we can find this node, we can just click this icon and then search for Google Sheets, and then we choose append row. But now we have, as we have a template already, so we can just dive into this and then choose the correct credentials count, and please use your own Google Sheets. For example, I'm going to click this, and then we need to select the correct sheets. Then we are going to map each column manually. And let me actually show you how the Google Sheet looks like. Okay, so this is our Google Sheets. Remember to click File, make a copy. Please do this. Because when you have this template, when you click this, you will not be able to access the Google Sheet because you don't have this Google Sheet yet in your Google account. So please do click File, make a copy, and then rename it to Company Research or any other name that you want. Okay, so as you can see, we have the ID, name, industry, location, etc. for the column name for this sheet, and we're using the sheets called companies. Then we are going to map the values manually. First of all, for ID, we are going to drag and drop this one, profile ID. For the name, we are going to drag and drop the company name. For the industry, we are going to drag and drop this company industry. For location, this one, LinkedIn URL. So basically it's this one, profile URL. And then for people ID, okay, it means the profile picture. So actually you can rename it into like different name that you want. And the first name we can drag and drop here. First name, last name. Okay, actually for the people ID we don't need it, so we can remove it. For first name, we can just drag and drop here, and then last name, drag and drop here. For the people LinkedIn URL, we can drag and drop here. This means the profile picture URL. And then for the title, we can just drag and drop this job title. And for this note, we're not going to update the company description, website URL, people, email, status, email draft, etc. So we can remove all of them. Then we can click test step. Okay, that's all done. Let me check the Google Sheets. We can have the name, industry, everything here, scrapped. So we have step 1 ready. So let's save it. All right, let's continue. The step 2, we're going to get the company background and website with Perplexity. That means we're going to fill this 2 columns. All right, so we are going to set up the schedule trigger again. So you can use the info that you want. So we are going to use the daily interval as well, same as the above. And we're going to add a Google Sheets. Again, we can search for Google Sheets from here. Google Sheets. Okay. And this time we are going to use our read sheets, get rows actually. And then we can dive into this. Let's execute the previous note first and rename this. Remember, you can put it as the name that you want. For example, we put here company description, empty record. Connect with your correct credentials. Let's confirm if it is referring to the correct Google Sheets. Great. So the purpose of this note is to filter out the rows that have the company description or website URL. So we will only process those rows which are empty. Okay, so we can click test step. So we got all the rows because, as you can see, all are empty here. Then the next step, we're going to add limit. Is to restrict the number of items. For example, we can see 1 item, first item. We keep first item. So it means that we're going to process 1 by 1. As you can see, we're going to process item 1. So it means that for a certain period of time, according to our settings, we are going to process 1 item per day. But you can set it into minutes or seconds, etc. Okay. Then what we are going to do, we are going to add HTTP request note. This is for using Perplexity to get the company backgrounds. We have already set the credentials. We are going to click this drop-down menu and search for the Perplexity. And we are going to use post method. This is the URL, generic credential type, head auth, send body JSON using JSON. And we will click expression and launch this. You will see we are using Sonar model, Perplexity Sonar model, and this is the system prompt and this is the user prompt. For the system prompt, you are a research assistant, retrieve data from a company that return the URL only without other description. If you cannot find anything, return null. For the user prompt, we are going to get the company website URL, prepare a company short description of. So that's when we can drag and drop. So for example, JSON name, JSON is referring to the previous node. JSON name, so it means this one. So you can see FOAF. Okay. For JSON location, okay, drag and drop. And you can customize the content here. It's just that we are going to get the company website and the description, trying to let the AI identify this company name in this specific location. Okay, you can use your own prompt as well. And when you see this, now there's no more red exclamation mark, and we can try to click this icon or click this test step to run this. Great, we got the output on the right hand side. So we have the description, we have the URL. Great. The next step, what we are going to do is to add this node. How are you going to get this node? This node is called information extractor. Okay, it's for formatting the JSON. So information extractor, this one. And we are going to use the newest model of DeepSeek V3.1, and we are going to use OpenRouter. But the way for OpenRouter, you can open router.ai. You can click this icon, keys, you can create your key. Okay. And for open router, you click this pen icon. We can just paste the API key here. Then it's all set. And we can actually choose the model from here. You can choose from here. And we're going to choose a DeepSeek Chat V3. It's a new US 3.1 model. Okay, take a look at this. Format JSON. And then we can click expression and enlarge this. So format. We're going to format this content. Let's drag and drop this here. And then return JSON like this format. Okay. It means that if there is a website URL, it returns it as a string. If not, it returns null. If there's a description, return it in a string. If not, it returns null. For schema type, we are going to choose generate from JSON example. This is the JSON example. Also, we have everything here as well. We can click test step. Great, we have the website URL and description, and you can see the format is similar to this. Great, we are going to proceed to the next step. Again, you can see this red exclamation mark. It states that the credentials for Google Sheets are not set. We can double click this. Set it to the correct credentials and make sure it is referring to the correct sheets. When you click this and you can see page not found, you can see that it's not referring to the correct sheets. So what we're going to do, click this drop down menu, search for the correct sheets. Okay, and then we have to set the sheet again, companies. What we are going to do, we are going to map each column manually, and the column to match on, we are going to use ID. Okay, because it's a unique ID that we have here. This one, it's best for us to use this ID to match on the rows in the Google Sheets. Alright, so what we are going to do now, for this ID using to match, we can go to limit, ID, drag and drop. And we don't need to update this name, location, delete this. Again, we need to update the comment description, website URL only, so we can remove all this as well. So where are we going to get the comment description? JSON output description, drag and drop, and then website URL, drag and drop. Let's do this again. Okay, so everything ready. We can click test step. Okay, we can see this Google Sheet is updated. Great. Then we are going to the next step. This node is called if. So it is for routing items to different branches, true or false. And let's see what's the condition. Again, we can rename it here. So as we can see, the name here is check if website not found. If this website URL is equal to null, it means that the website is not found. So that means it's true. Okay. So if the website is found, it is going through the false route. Okay. Website found, going to false route. Website not found, going to true. So we are going to use this, and then when the website is found, we're going to the next step. Okay, for the third step, we're going to do the email enrichment waterfall with these two email finance providers. We can add more. It's just for demo purpose we add this two. Okay, and you can see the structure is like this. If we can find the email from the first provider, for example like Prospeo, we'll save it, update the email as is, and proceed to the next stage. If we cannot find the email from Prospeo, we are going to use the second provider. So we are going to use Skrapp here to search for the email. Okay. If it's found, then we proceed to the next stage. Okay, so let's dive into this. Again, this node is called HTTP request. And then we rename it, okay, to Prospeo email search. We use post method. This is the URL, api.prospeo.io/email-finder, generic credential type header auth. Because we have already set the credentials at the beginning, we can just search for Prospeo account. You can disable this send header, actually enable this send body, and we use JSON using fields below. Okay, so let's try to execute this node. Okay, and then we have the input data here. So as we can see, there are a couple body parameters. The first one is first name. We can go to limits, scroll down, limits, this one. So basically this one is just drag and drop the first name. This one, David. Same for the last name. Company is referring to this one, drag and drop. Alright, so basically that's it, and then we can click test step and try to search for email. Great, we have successfully found it, and the email status is valid. We can proceed to the next stage, and then let's dive into this first. Make sure the credential is correct. Make sure it's referring to the correct Google Sheets. Okay, and you can see this column is empty. These two columns are empty. And what we're going to do with this node is to update these two columns actually. So for the again, we're going to map each column manually. Use ID column to match. Column to match on ID. Okay, so we can just go to, for this one, it's referring to limits ID. Drag and drop this one. People email. JSON response email. This one. Drag and drop. Email status. This one. Drag and drop. Then we are going to click test step. Great, let's see, it's updated. So let's talk about Skrapp email search, because for this flow, because we have already successfully found email, this node is not processed, but I will still talk about how we can set this up. Okay, so after you set up the credentials here, so we will have the query parameters. We have first name, last name, domain. It's slightly different than the parameters here. Okay, but the value we can drag and drop is the same. For example, we are using limit item JSON first name. It's the same here. Last name as well. JSON website URL. It's the same. Okay, and then we are also updating Google Sheets. Settings the same. Make sure that it's referring to the correct Google Sheets, and then also using this updating this two column using this ID to match one. Okay. Alright, for step 4, we're going to send customized email with this email AI agent. For the previous step, we have already set up the email enrichment waterfall with these two email providers. We can add more actually. We just have two for the demo purpose. You can just copy it and paste these two nodes and just try to link them up with more email searching providers. Alright, so for this node, we are going to add from here, edit fields, this one. Just double click this to rename it, and we choose meta mapping as a mode, email as a field to set, string as the type, and then we will input json.people_email. For JSON, this means it's referring to the previous node. Okay, so when we have collected, for example, the first email, JSON email, this is the previous node because we have collected the JSON email here already. It will skip this and then go directly pass through this. And for this one, because we cannot find the lead's email in the first provider, we can only find this email in this second provider. So this will be the previous nodes for this one. So we can always use this json.people_email. Then for a draft email, we can actually search for LLM, basic LLM chain. Then we can use DeepSeek as the model, Open Router, DeepSeek V3.1 actually. And we can use define below for the source of prompt, expression, enlarge it, generate a cold email body selling AndyNoCode to a person name, and then at the company name, using the company description. This is the structure, the example output, requirements. Okay, so let me show you something that you may question about first. So let's go to limit item. So basically, for first one, we can drag and drop this one. For this one, we can drag and drop this one. But why are we showing Lily here and we are showing Jace here? It's just that it's returning the last value that we get because we have processed 2 items. It's just shown the last item. That's it. Yeah. Basically, it processed 2 items, as you can see. The first one is for the Jive's medium, is for the Jace one. The second one is a culture plus group, is for Lily's one. Okay. And then this node we're going to search for Gmail. And then we're going to send it. Connect with your credentials. We will choose save email item, JSON email. Just drag and drop this one. Okay, drag and drop this one. Subject line, you can just choose your own. Email type, we choose text. Hi, and then for the name, actually, we can let's click the first item, and then on the left hand side, we will be able to see the items that we can drag and drop. Alright, limit first name, this one. So remember to change it to the first one first, because that's how you can see the items here, so that it'll be easier for you to drag and drop. Okay. And then for the JSON text, just drag and drop this one. Okay. And you can see both items are processed. And the last node, we're going to choose the Google Sheet node. And then we are going to connect with the Google Sheets account. Just click this, and then you will be directed to the Google Sheet. Make sure that you are linking to your correct Google Sheet account, and also the correct sheets here. And when you run this test step, you will see the email draft and also the email status here. So the Jive's media one, the culture plus group one. Okay. For this one, for the ID, we can go back again. We can see empties here. Why? We can just click this first item. Scroll down. Wait a second. Okay, limit. Drag and drop this ID to here. For the draft email, we're gonna just scroll up. Text, drag and drop here. And label, drag and drop here. So that's it. So that's how you can set things up for this workflow. So that's it for today. Feel free to let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. And you can also get this template from our AndyNoCode community. If you want to have more tech support or even engage with top creators, you can join our premium community as well. So I will see you in our next video. Goodbye.